fellow Trek Chatters, I'm Pit Trekkie, and welcome to another episode of Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. The reviews on the last episode of the new segment that's being done called Trekking Through Trek with Chris and Robert seem to be a very big success. Thank you for everybody who watched that episode. We really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that everybody responded to the topic that we discussed. So we're doing another Trekking Through Trek with Chris and Robert today. We're going to be focusing on the Enterprise D, a little bit of its history, the way it functions, just a little bit about that ship, which has been my favorite Enterprise my entire life. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn it back over to Robert, and we can get started on the show. How you doing, Robert?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great there, brother. Thank you very much. So, in the last few weeks, you've been doing some research on the Enterprise D. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit why you selected a review of that particular ship?
Well, I'm the ship. From beginning to beginning to end. But I realized I had to cover Constitution class reset. I wanted to save all those comments on the Connie reset for the anniversary show.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, since you told me that the Enterprise D was your favorite ship, I decided to go ahead and focus on that ship only for this time.
Okay.
Okay, so, and some of my source material is coming from Star Trek: The Next Generation Technical Manual, First Edition, published by Pocket Books, and it's written by Rick Sternbach and Michael Okuda. Mm-hmm. And also some of my research material comes from a college paper I wrote where I compared the original Constitution-class starship to the Enterprise D.
Nice.
And that was focused on just the television Enterprises because the movie Enterprise wasn't seen enough and on a regular basis by audiences. Just the movies came out every 2 years or so. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't seen regularly enough, so I had to combine the original Connie class to the Galaxy class.
Okay.
Okay. The Enterprise D was a Galaxy-class starship. It was built at the Utopia Mission Fleet Yard above Mars. It is the fifth ship to carry the net. And it commissioned and was placed under the command of Jean-Luc Picard. Mm-hmm. At that time, and there's been some contention about this, according to research, contention about the fact that the Enterprise was really the flagship of the Federation. Okay, because technically the flagship of any fleet is under the command of an admiral.
Okay.
But the most common definition of flagship, by the way, it's represents the very best that they have to offer.
Okay.
And certainly, as we know, the Enterprise and her crew are the best that there is.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
The Enterprise was a huge ship. I mean, this was, it's 42 decks total, both in the saucer section and in the secondary hull.
Yep.
And the model of the Enterprise for the Next Generation was designed and built by Andrew Trober. Mm-hmm. He also designed the Enterprise C, which was seen in yesterday's Enterprise. Mm-hmm. Now, at the time that the Enterprise was built, there were only 3 Galaxy-class ships in existence.
Mm-hmm. 3? I didn't know that. Only 3. Interesting.
Yes, only 3. The prototype itself, the USS Galaxy, which was destroyed in the second season, and then the Enterprise itself.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now, here's another misconception about the Galaxy-class starship. Mm. Even though it seemed to be technologically advanced, it actually wasn't.
Really?
The Galaxy-class took different technological advances that were placed in other starships.
Okay.
Okay, like saucer separation, holodecks, that type of thing. It took all of those technological advances that were used on other starships and combined them into another ship.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Starfleet moved the Enterprise from basically an explorer situation to a research vessel, basically. Still.
Okay.
But this time it was designed and built to accommodate families. The Enterprise D has a crew of 1,016.
Okay.
Which includes officers, spouses, and children. So a lot is designed to accommodate the civilian population.
Okay.
So, excuse me, and it was one of those. It was considered a prestigious posting to begin with. Anytime you're assigned to the Enterprise, it's the best of the best, as we've already established.
Absolutely. Do you remember in the episode Q Who in the second season, Sonia Gomez was saying how much she wanted to be on the Enterprise? That falls exactly with what you were saying. Absolutely.
Because she said only the best of the best get to be here.
Exactly. Yes.
Because the Enterprise, like I said, the Enterprise is the flagship. And like Sonia Gomez said, the best of the best should only be there. And you have to be the best to be on the Enterprise. And she also said, whatever's out here, we're going to be the first to see it. And I want to be out there to see it. So naturally, aside from minor technological glitches, the Enterprise, unfortunately, has a tendency to be stolen quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now do not get the do not copy on the title because it's a digital title. It's with the it's a numerical number sequence. X, ones and zeros. It's actually the binars hijack the Enterprise.
I remember. Yep.
And because they needed the computer system to save their world.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's very easily hijacked. And later on, when there's another in the episode Starship 9,
yes,
it was it was undergoing the Bering sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Like the regular array, it was sort of taken over by the people who wanted some sort of resin from the dilithium chamber or something.
Mm-hmm.
And but aside from that, and those technological things that that they were able to overcome, the first major damage to the Enterprise, which actually shocked me, was during the episode Q Who. Mm-hmm. When Q forced the confrontation with the Borg.
Yeah.
Okay. You got credit being going to 4 decks of your ship with 18 people missing.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of surprised me because I've never, and all the time I've seen Star Trek in the movies or the TV and all that, and I've never seen that kind of damage happen.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Constitution class, original Constitution class Enterprise was compared to an city in space. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if the Constitution class Starship Enterprise was considered to be a city in space, then what was Enterprise doing? It was like a metropolis, like New York.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to remember too that most of the ship was designed to accommodate a civilian population.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's you have schools, you have Arboretum, Replimat, which is basically a modern shopping center or shopping store or something for the crew. Mm-hmm. That type of thing. One of the things that the Enterprise D was supposed to have done on a regular basis was to do what's known as a saucer separation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The idea of it was to take the civilian population to safety,
yes,
while the star drive section, the number that was known as the battle bridge, take over defense duties. Now, the battle bridge was supposed to be an auxiliary control center, much like the auxiliary control room on the Constitution class.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was so expensive, in special effects wise, to separate the ship, with the
right.
And it was and the Enterprise D as time went on became very and it was very, very famous. It was and being under the command of Captain Picard, it gained a name for itself to begin with. Mm-hmm. It was as we all well know, Enterprise was Enterprise It's one of the things that was with hostile races. It was to destroy the ship.
Okay.
Take pieces of it. Like during the conflict with the Klingons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, the Romulans. I'm sorry. They wanted to, take the broken hull of the Enterprise and display it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Enterprise, received a lot of action during that time. During the time of the series. And I'm sure you can remember there are other times when the Enterprise was threatened like that.
Oh yes.
And the Enterprise, the Enterprise is one of those ships that could be, that had multiple built into it. What's our contemporary backup to computers?
Mm-hmm.
Something goes wrong with the power system of the computer. There's supposed to be a backup to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just and it was designed to do that, deliberately. But there are times when you had to bypass everything and start all over again. You had to jerry-rig everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can you remember any other instances where they had to do something like that? The one that I remember completely is Tin Man.
Okay.
Where a fly surface that wasn't supposed to respond, and Commander LaForge had to bypass a whole lot of stuff.
Yes.
I don't remember any other episodes of my knowledge.
Okay.
And unfortunately for us, with the ship going on as it had, there's a problem. Now the Enterprise actually in the 7th season, I believe it's called Emergence.
Mm-hmm.
The Enterprise, for lack of better words,
Oh, we're losing you there, Robert. There you go.
What now?
Oh, you cut out for a second. I can hear you now.
So, Emergence.
Okay.
It was an episode where the Enterprise gained ascension.
Yes.
Okay, and basically created a life form in and of itself.
Yes, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's powers of AI, of artificial intelligence. Because a lot of the ship was run by computer. You get almost instantaneous results.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the computer systems were when the Enterprise was built. A lot of the computer systems were upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
There was almost instantaneous response to any question you asked.
Mm-hmm.
And the panels on the bridge, for example, as part of that, they could be reconfigured from to handle one person, for a person's particular taste. And according to the Next Generation Tech Manual, it said that the button that pushes phasers, that operates phasers 1 week may not be the one that operates them this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's ease of operation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have compared the Enterprise D to a luxury liner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the Queen Elizabeth, something like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And Queen Elizabeth, and if he was being mentioned by name as a luxury liner, in Tin Man.
Mm-hmm.
And the Enterprise D was considered to be the best, even with all the technology that was taken from other ships and combined into that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though it wasn't technologically advanced, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they built the ship, it was supposed to be a combination of all these technologies into one package.
Yep.
At the time of the Dominion War, there were others that had been built at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like the USS Odyssey, which was destroyed in the Dominion War.
Yes.
And when comparing the sizes of the ships between the Constitution class and the Galaxy class,
mm-hmm.
I stated that the Enterprise D looked like she'd been working out and taking steroids.
Yeah.
Because it's a ship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if the original Enterprise had as many weapons and doodads and everything that the Enterprise D had. Certainly the Enterprise D was much more well-armed, and, I mean, you can see in episodes like the Arsenal of Freedom when Worf is firing the photon torpedoes and the phasers at that little droid, they can't find it. I mean, you can just see almost the whole array of everything that the ship has. I mean, yeah, it was pretty steroided up, definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, and comparing the Constitution to the Enterprise D, the original configuration, you know, it was definitely bigger, more powerful. I was expecting you to power a small city with the Enterprise D, you know, almost forever, you know, because it was so powerful, it was huge. And areas of the ship that we'd never seen before, like the Arboretum. I mean, we don't. You know, we saw the Arboretum several times, you know, in several different episodes, like Day to Day and The Last Page and all that. We never got to see stellar cartography though until Star Trek Generations.
Yes. And that was a beautiful set.
And that was, you know, I mean, it was just, it was a complete, you know, I mean, you also up, you know, and up to date, and it blew me away when I saw that.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, from certain angles, you know, as far as looks goes, the Enterprise D from certain angles does have an ungainly appearance because of the huge saucer section.
Yes.
And you know, so from certain angles, it doesn't look very well. You know, it doesn't look very good. You know, because the saucer section is oval.
Yes.
It's not completely round. It's oval.
Right.
But it was also but they also had to consider the possibility of when the ship is separated, it had to separate in order to save the crew. You know, to go into atmospheric operations. So in some ways, it had to be aerodynamic in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and you know, so if you look carefully, you know, you can see how the edges of the saucer section are rounded off. They're not really squared off. They're really rounded off.
Okay.
And you know, that's considered the atmospheric flight. You know, and with the warp and the as I've understood from the tech manual, the warp core, it was like 14 decks.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 14 decks in the secondary hold. You know, so that's got to be a huge warp core.
Yeah.
So just think of the power the ship has. You know, I mean, it's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course, you know, with unfortunately for us, the Enterprise is only 7 years old and she was finally destroyed.
I know.
And the ship was designed to operate, designed to be operated with continual upgrades.
Yes.
You know, for about 100 years.
Yes.
That's like the Excelsior class was.
You
know, and but I said it was only 7 years in her operational lifetime that she was destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just that just blew me away too when I saw that. And, you know, because I would have thought that the television Enterprise would have gone on into the movies as well. You know, but it didn't.
I really wish it would have. I thought it looked really great on the big screen in Generations. You know what really surprised?
I did.
Yeah, you know what really surprised me in Generations? And I've thought about this over the last 20-some years. And yeah, I know that the Bird of Prey was able to fire through the shields right there in orbit of Viridian 3, but I'm really surprised that they didn't stand their ground and fire everything that they had at that Bird of Prey, even within the shields.
Oh yeah, I mean. And what really kind of surprised me was they didn't change the shield modulation.
Exactly.
That's what surprised me. I mean, if they'd gotten the shield modulation, you know, why didn't they just change the shield modulation on the ship?
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it was just sloppy writing on the people who wrote it in that particular moment. That's my thought.
Yeah. I think so too. One of the problems with something like this is that it's so technical. You know, you always overlook something.
Exactly.
You know, So my thought was, if you could change the shield modulation to fool the board, why can't you change the shield modulation to reflect the torpedoes?
That is a very good point. I never thought of that before. That is a very good point that you bring up on that. It just felt like the scene was kind of like, okay, we want to get the Enterprise D out of here so we can have the Enterprise E in the next movie. Let's just kind of get it over with. You know?
Yeah,
I think they could have had a spectacular battle there.
Oh yeah. I mean, if they had changed the shield modulation when the bird of prey attacked, you know, they could have continued with the Enterprise D.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it didn't. And you're right. I think it would have better screen presence on, you know, on the big screen than it would have than it did on television.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Especially when they were leaving the scene where the space station was about to be hit by the shockwave. And they did that deep 45 the angle turn, you know, the starboard, and the starboard, and they got out of there. I mean, that was beautiful. That was just absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely,
you know, the Galaxy class starship, I think, has a better screen presence because you could take in you have more. You know, you have more of a presence with it. You know, as far as the big screen goes. I mean, it has beautiful big screen presence.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and. You know, but you're right. I mean, they you know, it's like you said. You know, it's literally the Enterprise to have a new Enterprise. You know, of course, we didn't see the new Enterprise until First Contact.
Yeah.
You know, but the Enterprise D, I think, could have continued on. The only major changes they actually did on it was they added a couple more bridge stations on the other where the ramps are on the bridge.
Yeah.
They added a couple more stations on either side of that.
Mm-hmm. They also gave Worf a chair finally, remember that?
Yeah.
It was about damn time. I mean, I couldn't understand how Tasha and Worf stood there for, you know, the times that they were at that station. Even when the ship was under attack, you'd think they'd be flung all over the place. You know, so he finally had a seat, you know?
Yeah. He had to have, Worf had to have some very comfortable boots in order to stand up there for his ship.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was unreal. It was unreal. But I agree with you. I think the Enterprise D is absolutely beautiful. I love the design of it. I agree with you what you said. The design in terms of the saucer section makes it look top-heavy, definitely. But I think it had a really great look. I think when the ship was separated and the battle section was able to go and head into battle, like with the Borg in the Best of Both Worlds Part 2, I thought it looked slick. I really did. I wish that's what I really would have loved to have seen in Generations at the end there, was the ship separate and then try to get the saucer section out and then try to get the star drive to beat the living crap out of that bird of prey. It would have been really neat.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
They missed it on the boat on that one, without a doubt.
Oh, I think so, too. Another source of jokes, okay, involving that particular sequence was when Deanna Troi took the helm.
That was the joke. Even in Star Trek Nemesis, she destroyed a quarter of the saucer section, ramming it into the scimitar. You know? I mean, poor Counselor Troi.
I had mentioned who taught Deanna Troi to operate the helm. Spock?
I know, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't even let her drive my car, much less drive my ship. You know? So, well, we're actually almost out of time. Is there anything else that you would like to say about the ship to end the research you did?
Well, other than, you know, the Enterprise D at the time that we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Enterprise D represents the best that the Starfleet Federation has to offer.
Yes.
And still, even now, Star Trek is it's how our future is supposed to go. And I honestly believe, you know, that if we pull ourselves and do this and the other, you know, we can get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The Enterprise D represented a lot of growth and change. Just the fact that they were able to go from the original series, not having any families on board, to this big ship where they included everybody, you know, their families, their kids. I mean, it did show that we were continuing to grow as a people, you know, and that family counted and family mattered. And I think that's really important to show on TV. But, you know, with me working as a therapist with kids that have all these split, broken homes, to actually have that on screen in The Next Generation, I think was very empowering for families. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's also very positive because it gave us, you know, like always, Star Trek shows a positive side of how we can be.
Absolutely.
You know, and the Enterprise D, or the Enterprise in general, you know, that's the culmination of it right there.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Well, Robert, it was really great having you on the show again. Start preparing the next one that you want to do with me. I'm looking forward to what you come up with for the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. If you have any comments for Robert, please leave them down below in the comment section. If you want to continue to follow the show, I'm obviously here on YouTube. Click the subscribe button, ring the little bell, so you can see when more content from the show is coming out. Just type in Pittsburgh's Trek Chat in a YouTube search engine. It'll bring you right to my channel. You can follow the show on Facebook at facebook.com/PGHTrekChat. I can also be found on Twitter at PGHTrekChat. I look forward to the next episode, and until then, may yins live long and prosper.